Now you're back on the East Coast, ready to do what's right tomorrow on Election Day and fucking put in the vote.
I can't vote. I got the felonies. You forget.
I'm not voting. I'm hoping. I think it's time for a dictator. Enough of letting the Russians meddle in our elections. It's time for us to have a dictator so the Russians can't do that anymore. I'm ready to move on from democracy.
Jesus fucking Christ. You're giving it up to the commies already?
Those were the days where your parents or your uncle or whatever just took you to the movie they were going. I remember my parents back then, they took me to see like movies like Jagged Edge, and then I wouldn't sleep for like 2-3 weeks. Yeah. They would just drag you wherever they were going.
My grandfather...
They didn't give a fuck.
No, they didn't give a fuck.
My grandfather in the 90s, mid-90s, me and my cousin, he would watch us during the day while our moms worked. He took us to Green Acres Mall out in Nassau County. He took us to see Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking a juice in the hood and fell asleep. And then he took us to see the movie Clueless. That's what we would see. And we saw each movie like 5 times in the summer. But I mean, Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking a juice in the hood is just, I mean, it's sex, drugs. And this guy would just be sleeping because he didn't take his diabetes medicine. And that's just what it was. And that was like being a kid. That was great. Now it's like if you did that, my grandpa would be in jail. It sucks.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy how when I go up north, I live in South Jersey. When I drive north, I'm old, so I got to pee. I can't fucking pull my dick on the side of the road and pee no more.
I know.
Because if you get a ticket for peeing, you got to register as a sex offender.
I know.
You know that?
Yeah.
My buddy got a ticket for peeing, and he had to register as a fucking sex offender. So now I got to fucking pull over 3 times. Every time you can't even take your dick out to pee no more. The last 4 years I lived there, it wasn't until I came back to shoot the prequel to The Sopranos. I was here for 3 weeks, and I really enjoyed what was happening in my life. There was no fucking that feeling of I can't just not degenerate, but that's just not even needy. It's like I don't even know what to call it. It bleeds onto you, and when you're away from it, you feel it. The desperation. When you're away from LA, you go, wow, I'm not bumping into desperate fucking people anymore.
Well, there's an honesty here. Like in New York, you meet a fucking, waiter, the guy's a waiter. You meet a contractor, the guy's a contractor. In LA, 9 times out of 10, you meet somebody that whatever job they're doing is just to buy time until they become a famous movie star, whatever they want. So everybody's sitting in their own bullshit for a long time. Where in New York, I feel like at least there's a sense here where it's like, hey, you are who you are, and you kind of just got to accept it. It's like, if you're not going to make the movies, kid, it's like you got to find a way to pay the bills. The rent and shit's too high here. Where LA, I think they can live on this dream a little bit longer. And also, I feel like LA, it's a lot of times it's a city of, who's the most cutthroat person in your fucking class moves out to LA to try to become a movie star or director, and the city is full of just cutthroat people that have no roots there. Where New York is like, my family's been here for over 100 years and nobody thinks about leaving. Even me, I only go to LA for a few weeks and come back because I want to just try to make my career and my opportunities here. I don't want to leave, But LA, it's like you kind of just go there temporarily, try to make it big, and then come back. But that's why I think somebody like you did what you wanted to do on your own terms, and now you're back, and you can make just as much money, have just as much fame as these guys in the movies by doing from home in New Jersey and being with your daughter every day. It's a beautiful life.
It's listen, I'm not saying I drank the Kool-Aid, but the first 3 or 4 years I listened to what they were saying to me, do this on stage. And then one day I'm like, what am I, a fucking monkey? I didn't come here to play to their song. I'm doing this my fucking way.
Right.
And I changed my stand-up. If you talk to Rogan, he'll say that I was struggling for a long time. And one day it just hit me. It was about 2001. Where I was like, fuck these motherfuckers, fuck the Montreal Comedy Festival, fuck them all. You're doing stand-up to be funny.
Right.
Not to fucking, I heard people coming up to me going, you got to change your material. It's got to be about your family. They have to see your sitcom. What fucking sitcom are you talking about? I'm in no fucking sitcoms. I'm doing dirty comedy. Nothing bothers me when somebody calls me a celebrity. I'd rather you call me a fat fucking spick. I really do.
You're in the right place.
Don't call me a fucking celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. I'm a dirty fucking comic who got lucky. Fuck that, Yannis. Every time you eat hummus, ISIS gets $1, cocksucker. Hummus is just making ISIS stronger. By the way, ISIS has been very quiet during the pandemic.
Sure.
You think?
Yeah, because the news cycle, they're not, the ISIS doesn't sell tickets right now. Only COVID sells tickets. But once COVID's over, once that's over, ISIS is going to be next up to sell the tickets. Yeah.
I love to be a recurring guest on your show. And every time we come on, you teach me about a little bit of history.
Just a little bit.
No, Dick. Just a little bit. Tell me why Germans did this, why the fucking Nazis did that, why the Polacks did this, why the Chinese built our railroads. I want you to teach me every time.
Well, yeah.
And I promise to be a recurring guest if you have a lesson for me every time.
It's what it is.
I'm getting old, and I'm kind of forgetting. And you guys are young guys. I'm passing the torch on to you motherfuckers. So every time Uncle Joey comes on, you give me a little history lesson.
That's what it is.
If it's about Abe Lincoln jerking off or the Emancipation Proclamation, whatever. Betsy Ross, whatever. Whatever you're
Ross.
into.
Yeah.
She makes a nice flag, that lady.
We would love to have you. She does. Betsy Ross made the flag.
Betsy Ross makes a nice. And speaking of Betsy, I'll be in Philadelphia November 19th to the 21st, you fucks.
Yeah, and if you want a little...